The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Monday pod.
Hey-o.
Don't forget, Alicia's got to come in with her story.
Yes, she does.
Oh.
The other thing as well is the Queensland team has been named No Jermaine Hopgood.
Are you joking?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, no, it's 1 through 17 exactly as it was in the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of that poor guy.
You
Like,
wonder how-
imagine if you read it in the paper.
Oh,
He
yeah.
didn't have a phone call yet.
Yeah. There must be a leak there, hey? I wonder how that happens.
So do you remember back in the day, I'm talking years ago, where on a Sunday night it would be announced and you'd have no idea who was in, who was out, but it's like the Blues was like yesterday, slowly getting leaked like one by one. It was like 1 o'clock yesterday. Dave Ricciardo's like, Edwards is in, Tedesco's out, Trebojevic will captain.
But it's also like they do it weeks out to get you prepared. Because I put it that if they had have kept that team completely K5 and just announced the team today without any sort of pre-origin whispers, everyone would be going, who's Cam McGuinness? Like, they've been talking about him now for 3 or 4 weeks. And it's like they just start getting you used to the fact that this
really?
might happen.
Do the commentators start mentioning their names? Or
Man,
people
like,
in the paper?
That's a good point.
The first time I ever heard Cam McGuinness as a possible origin bolter was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I was like, what? And then you start, then all of a sudden it just sort of becomes, by the time the 3 or 4 week campaign had finished, it was like, Cam McGuinness will be in the team. And then he was in the team.
And also, he starts doing media. Have you noticed that? Like, after every Sharks game, it's like Cam McGuinness is because he's the one missing a tooth.
Okay. Or is his club putting him forward, or are they doing it that way?
I think the media people at like Fox request people.
Yeah, but are they trying to, maybe he's not chosen, but they think if they put a light on him that he will get
Yeah,
chosen?
It's
I don't know.
interesting.
I think there's something. I think there was something at play with that. You know what I mean? Gus came out and said, "You will be shocked." About 3 weeks ago, you will be
he did it.
shocked who
Okay.
will be in the New South Wales team. And then all of a sudden they started.
We were.
But anyway, whatever. Like, Mitch, what do you make of the team? The Blues? No. Blues, mate. Just the Queensland team.
Just walked in like, no. So, I mean, as we expected, like I know Buzz and I were talking a little bit earlier about the Jaden Sewarness and the Dave Fafita. That was probably only because Fafita's been there. He's been there a handful of times, and
I don't think he did anything wrong either.
yeah, no, I don't
He
think.
hasn't been playing that bad for the Coast.
No, I don't think he's ever set the Origin arena on fire. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, just, you made some great as a Blues fan, Buzz. You made some great points about the fact that we're lacking some of our bigger boys that are out injured at the moment.
Which also surprised me why Selwyn's on the bench. And
that seems
it's
weird.
a pretty small bench.
When we are only carrying 2 forwards on the bench. Yeah.
Like, obviously, Cotter will start. Would you reckon he'll start in the front row? Or do you reckon they'll do?
What, bring in Moe into
Yeah, and
start?
then Cotter potentially starting in the second row, putting Sewer back onto the bench, and Cotter moving into the front row.
Maybe. Yeah.
First stint.
Yeah, someone thinks, that's a...
It'll be master, but you know what'll happen, right? Something will happen, and it'll be a masterstroke by Billy. Because the Blues have been found out a couple of years in a row without a back on the bench.
No back on the bench.
I don't know how, like, the Blue side, I think it looks like it's like the most Queensland New South Wales side they've had in a long time. We talked about, like, it's just a lot of
hard workers.
Yeah,
okay, that's a good point.
Like, we joke about Gus. So I love listening to Gus saying, they talk about like a Cam McGuinness or a Dal Finucane, people that have only either getting their first run or have a handful of games they go. If that was a Queenslander, he'd be the first one picked every game. Like an Ash Harrison or a Dallas Johnson, who were like workers for their clubs. Ash Braden, obviously.
Was it I remember someone saying if the cheese was he played for New Zealand in the end.
Yeah.
But if he had been a Queenslander, he would have got a start. Someone was saying that the other day.
That's like Victor Radley. I don't understand why.
Victor Radley. Victor Radley. Is that Victor Radley? It was
Yeah.
Victor Radley. Yeah.
Surely.
He's an Origin player.
Is he?
Well, because he never got a shot. He was technically standing behind Cam Murray, and Isaiah Yeo was like the
Was it
locks.
Radley that did
He went to England.
England.
He changed his allegiance to England.
That's what I'm thinking of. Victor Radley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine in Queensland though, like if we had a player, like imagine if say Ryan Pappenhausen was a Queenslander.
Yeah.
Like somehow or other, he'd have like 7 or 8 origins there.
Already,
like, we'd find a place for him.
He feels like a Queenslander. Hey,
Yeah,
it must be the Melbourne Storm
You
connection.
get these bloody New South Wales players that are unreal players. That we go, oh yeah, we'll take them. Oh, we'd love to take them, and they don't even get.
They end
a
up playing
start.
for Australia.
Yeah.
Some of them too, but no, they leave him out of the New South Wales.
And what a 12 months for Nico Hines. Game 1 last year, he got 8 minutes of game time. Everyone's like, well, his Origin career is done for a couple of years. 12 months later, he's like, first half picked, build the team around Nico.
Yeah.
I know they've got the massive injury crisis, especially in the halves, but still, a lot can change.
Every time I see Nico, I think of Dean Boxell.
Hmm.
They looked identical
Yeah.
to me. The crazy hair and crazy eyes.
Yeah, I can
Funny,
see that.
funny teeth.
I was nearly going to say that, but I thought I
I
wouldn't.
feel like once
He
he
has got weird
retires, he's
teeth,
going to look
doesn't
like a bum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he'll probably get his teeth done like Shane Warne when he gets older.
What would
Yeah,
you
'cause
get
you're
it
not
done
gonna-
now?
We'll just do them
Because he
now.
gets knocked out. Imagine if they
Yeah.
get knocked out when he's playing.
Who cares? But still.
Have you
his
talking about
mouth
Cam
guard.
McGuinness? You've seen the
Oh.
pictures of Cam McGuinness.
I've got to
rolling
show
around,
you.
haven't
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No,
Who we're
Cam
talking
McGuinness.
about? I've got to find a photo. There's one I took and I sent it through to a chat. Oh, God, where is it now? And it was like, if you had to pick, and it,
I'll
like,
go to
you know,
the
find
LA.
a picture of like the most rugby league head. Yeah, that'd be a good photo.
He's missing his tooth.
Like a classic
Remember,
rugby league
Blood.
head. That's
Julian
what it looks
O'Neill was missing, I think, one of his front teeth, and he had a plate he'd put in with his tooth. Do you remember that?
Sounds
He'd always
right.
pull it
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Shows his arm. It's the same picture.
So
Yeah.
has
That's
And
Yeah.
so has Matt Hayden. He's got a fake front tooth, hasn't he?
Yeah.
When athletes, when
Lindsay Collins is.
you take out your front tooth, you look so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Matt Hayden looks good, good looking, good. He takes out his tooth. He looks
Losing the front tooth is.
he looks foul. I'm going to say foul.
I think Jay Hodges has got 1 or 2 missing up front as well.
he?
I think he's got falsies.
Yeah,
Does
right.
he?
I think so. Geez, I hope I'm right. He'll hate me for saying that if he doesn't.
Like a plate or
I think so. Some memory
or
of him
screwed
ripping it
in.
out and going, Jesus.
You got to get them fixed well too.
Hmm.
Like, I had a
Yeah,
mate
really
who's got-
good.
Who lost some front teeth, and he got the falsies, but they just like
too bright.
it just
too white.
you look at them and it's one of those things now.
Something
Like
about
when I'm
Mary.
talking, like if it was you, Mitch,
Yeah.
like all I'd want to do is look at your teeth.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
could-
Like the Willie Mason at the
but I
moment.
just
You know, a
have-
couple
I
of years
just-
ago.
Yes.
Has he had his teeth done?
Oh,
Yeah,
and
Willie's
his one,
one, yes,
I don't
yes,
even know
yes.
that his were that
Yeah.
bad, but then he got them done, and he's just got like chewing gum, like just
They just got that
Yeah.
that thing about them. They just
all you're looking at.
they look as fake as anything.
And what's it, Flanagan, right? Shane Flanagan, the coach of the Dragons, he got them done a
Yeah.
couple of
He
years
got
ago.
it.
They quite often look
Big
too big.
chompers.
The big
We
look
all
too
have
big,
a
don't
friend
they?
who got him.
Masons were just small. That's
Not
the
allowed.
only.
Shane
They were
Warne's the-
normal, just small.
The most
small
famous
teeth,
one,
yeah,
isn't
right.
he? Don't you think Shane Warne?
What did Warney get new teeth?
Yeah, he had those big white
Yeah, he had-
fake
he had 'em.
teeth.
Well, I know they were white, but I didn't know were they fakies? Were
I
they?
reckon they looked. Well, we rest in peace.
Oh, everything about Warney by the end was fake. His hair.
Yeah, so it was all
Tan.
just all matched. It was all balanced off
I was
something
at
else.
a chemist the other day and they were selling a Shane Warne product. I can't remember what it was. Maybe a aftershave
He
or
used to have
deodorant.
cologne.
Cologne? I was like, I can't believe he's dead.
Yeah.
I really cannot believe he's dead.
Weren't we in Sydney when that happened? I was in. Were we all down there together? I was in Sydney.
I wasn't. How many years
No.
has he been gone? Because it feels like
Beginning of 22.
I thought,
Yeah.
I bet you when he signed up for this cologne that he never.
thought it'd outlive him.
Yeah. It's odd.
I wonder
Anyway.
if it's still the same price or if it's gone up since. Anyway, I'll leave it on
Maybe.
that.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.